Hey man, this is a really exciting episode. It's all about the upcoming membership site that we're putting together called the Foundry. Now, there's so much more than I can actually explain to you guys, and there's so much more information that's going to be coming down the road, and I know you guys are interested in this stuff and you want to be a part of this. So do me and yourself a favor and head over to foundry.wolfandiron.com. That's foundry.wolfandiron.com. There's a sign-up page out there so that you can say, hey, I'm interested in being a part of this thing and knowing more about it. You're not committing to anything, but you'll be the first to get the information about progress and changes and what's coming up with the Foundry. Okay, man, I appreciate you. You're going to enjoy this episode. Here we go.
Duty, honor, country dictate what you ought to be, what you can be, what you will be.
The destiny of man is not measured by material computations. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirits, not animals.
Now we are the masters of our fate.
Howdy, gents. Welcome back to another episode of the Wolf and Iron podcast. I'm your host, Mike Yarbrough, founder and curator of wolfandiron.com, and I'm glad you're here. Guys, this is a really exciting episode for me because I'm going to be telling you guys in some detail about something that I've had in my mind and have wanted to implement and give you more information about for some time. There's still a long ways to go with this, but I want you guys to begin thinking about this and getting excited about it because I'm excited about it. If you're a member of our free online Facebook group, it's called the Wolf and Iron Community. Almost started talking about the new thing. It's the Wolf and Iron Community, and you guys can get over there if you're not already a member by heading over to wolfandiron.com/thegroup. But if you are a member of that group, you've probably seen a video on this, as I've talked about this a little bit in detail. And I've actually mentioned this, what I'm going to be speaking about. I'm keeping it coy, if you can't tell. I've actually talked about this a few times, just kind of drop little hints on this podcast. And what I'm going to be talking to you guys about is something called the Foundry. The Foundry is going to be our paid membership group. And so for men who are serious about brotherhood, they need the accountability, they want the camaraderie, they want guys who are at their peak in terms of pursuit of what it means to be a man, guys who want to go beyond the podcast and some of the free stuff you get, and really want to get really good, strong direction in life. They want to get closer and more connected with like-minded men. That's just a little bit what the Foundry is going to be about. So in this podcast episode, I'm going to talk a good bit about the roadmap, about when we get there. My goal right now, my plan is to launch the Foundry in January of next year, 2019. There are some things that need to happen on my end before we launch, and things are going well. And so actually this will be an update. If you are a member of the Wolf and Iron community, our free online Facebook group, and I kind of talked about the Foundry there already, this is actually update and things are progressing pretty well. So I want to talk to you guys about that. But let me start off by talking about why. Why do we need the Foundry to begin with? Why do we need a paid membership group? Now, I can already hear you guys thinking, okay, how much is this going to cost? What am I going to get? What are going to be the benefits? Let me just start by saying this. It will be affordable, and you will more than get your money's worth out of it. Let me talk first about why. You guys know that there is a strong need in society today for a place for men to be taught to be men. We're not getting it from our fathers, many of us. The grandfathers, the era of men who really were all about teaching men to be men. A lot of that is from the greatest generation. Those men are becoming less and less. And our kids don't experience that. We still need lessons as to what it means to be a man. And in all areas of life. How do we manage our families? How do we manage our finances? What do we do when we want to make a career change? Why can't we seem to drop this weight? Anything and everything that you can think of, it requires us to be the men we're called to be. That's the high call. Every area of life, we come in and we elevate it. And so we don't get these things just by the way of relationships, many of us. In fact, I know many of you have reached out to me and you've said, Mike, I'm really thankful for the podcast. I'm thankful for the online community. I'm thankful for the articles and things like that, because the men that you by and large see and know aren't talking about these things. They're not discussing the ethics of life, the bigger matters. Now, I think they want to. I just don't think they know that they're supposed to or that they're allowed to. Another reason that we want to start our own community is this. As of late, and maybe this has been going on for some time and I'm just not clued in, but certainly as of late, we've seen a really strong push from the big social media giants, Twitter and Facebook, which is also Instagram, towards disfavoring, canceling a lot of conservative Christian, traditional kind of family-minded accounts. The people who really take a stand that a man is a man and a woman is a woman, and here's how you ought to live if you're one or the other. Those aren't flying over too well. Those are kind of rubbing up against these guys the wrong way. Actually, my Twitter account is gone and has been banned. I don't really know why. I'm not very active on it. But apparently it violated some of Twitter's policies, and I can only assume that it was some conservative quote that I put out there or some Christian tweet that I tweeted. But in any case, imagine this. Imagine we've got an online Facebook group and it's growing like mad. And we have a really nice one, and it's growing very well. Really high caliber guys out there. And I appreciate every single one of you that are out there in the group. And we get this thing really rolling, and it's big and it's exciting. And somebody posts something out there about shooting guns with their sons or their daughters. And next day we come in and the group is gone. All that effort, all that time put into that, managing it, growing it, it's just gone. I don't have anybody's contact information. There's no way for me to recover that. And I really think that's where we're headed, guys. I believe we've got to have not our own island, but we've got to have a place that we know it's okay to be men and we speak as we want to speak. Social media is great for making contacts. And there's a lot of free things out there that we can do on social media that are conducive to helping us build each other up. But at some point, even our Facebook group is going to grow so large, and it won't really be conducive to, the kind of the transparency we want to have, or even the focus that we want to have. I know there are a lot of guys who come in looking for help with a particular season of life. Maybe you guys just got married, you're starting to have kids. Or maybe you're looking for a career change, and maybe you're on the entrepreneurial track. And there are different areas in life that you really want to focus in, but you can't do that when you come to a Facebook group. I mean, you can ask questions, general questions, but it's not like it's segmented out into categories, and you can really hone in on the details of what it is that you can't just geek out on all the entrepreneurial information. But in the Foundry, you'll be able to do that. There will be videos and audio and masterminds that are dedicated to so many of these areas in life that we need to grow as men. And so if you're on this kick of, man, I just got to get my marriage right. I got to become more of a romantic. What's holding me back? We're going to have stuff that's tailor-made for you to do that. Or if you're thinking about launching a business and moving away from your career like I've done, we're going to have some solid stuff to help you do that. And so that's getting a little bit into the details there, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But that's kind of what the Foundry is. Now, let me make one thing clear. There's a good chance many of you will join the Foundry because of the content. And that's awesome. I want it to be very easy and very evident that what we have going on there is helping you solve your specific goals in life and then move forward into the next phase of life and to continue growing as a man. But let me tell you this, guys, you're going to stay. This is my vision, kind of vision casting here. You're going to stay because of the community. We've kind of had a bit of a test here with our online Facebook group. What kind of men does Wolf and Iron attract? Are these just guys that just want to go and thump their chest and talk about, the cool things that they've done that make them feel like a man, and then talk about how terrible everybody else that's not a man is, and so on and so forth? And it's not that at all. High caliber men. I continue saying that because it's true. I am constantly impressed by the character of the men that are associated with Wolf and Iron. And I have no doubt that the highest of those men will be joining us in the Foundry. So that's a little bit of the why. And obviously, I'm going to expound on this more as we get closer to the launch date. You're going to hear more and more about this. Let's talk about the what. How's the Foundry actually work? And some of you guys may be familiar with membership sites. Some of you maybe not. In any case, let me just give you kind of a high-level overview of how this works. You sign up for the membership site, and the site has everything you need to kind of function in sort of the context and the realm of the Foundry. So you log in, and there are going to be places for videos. There are going to be places for audio content, but primarily video content. We're going to host masterminds. And let me just explain a little bit about what I mean by mastermind, because you can kind of go a couple of different ways with this. Along with the training that we'll have out there. So these are just videos that are just going to be specific and really dive in deep to particular subjects. That'll be the training. We're going to host masterminds, and we'll probably do these monthly. And there are a couple of ways that I'm thinking about going about doing this. One is just have just kind of a live Q&A session. You guys ask whatever you want to ask, and myself, maybe a friend, maybe Brandon McConnell, who was on the Ask a Man series with me, or maybe one of my producers, but we'll see. Somebody else will maybe jump in and help answer these questions as well. So it'll be kind of like a panel type of thing. That's one way of going about it. The other way, and then we may actually end up doing both of these, is that you guys just sort of say, hey, I could use some help in life in some area, right? And we choose one of you guys, and we just do a live call. There's a Skype thing, but everybody else will be able to see it, and you guys will be able to benefit from this. And we just dive in deep for some guy. Okay, so maybe it's you, right? Maybe you've got, like I talked about originally, you've got issues with your marriage. It's on the rocks. It's not working. And you've tried everything that you can think to try, and man, you just need some advice. Well, I'm going to tell you guys, so many men will benefit from the conversation that we would have trying to help you out. Even if your marriage ends up, going south, there will be marriages that are saved, and there will be men who are built up because of that conversation. And not only will we have that there, right, for other guys to be a part of that, but we'll also record that, right? So it's going to be out there available for other guys to kind of see, okay, here's the kind of questions I need to be asking myself. And here's how I actually kind of mentally walk through challenging myself and even maybe challenging my brothers. Some of you guys are leaders of other men, or at least you're a mentor of sorts. You're an example setter. Maybe you lead a group of men at your church. Maybe you're just a part of an accountability group of some kind. And these are going to provide you, these kind of mastermind sessions are going to really provide you with the skills that you need to dig in deep with the guys, to get them to kind of draw them out. And so I think those are going to be awesome. You guys are really going to enjoy those. We're also going to have a community in the Foundry. And this is going to be front and center, guys. The community is going to serve a couple of different purposes. One, kind of like our Facebook group, you're going to be able to just kind of throw stuff out there. Hey guys, I'm having an issue with this, or I got a question about this, or encouragement, right, as well. So not just problems all day long, but also, man, this is awesome. Check this out. That kind of stuff, and just having some fun. But there are going to be categories out there where you guys can actually jump into a particular section in a forum and say, hey, this is the Entrepreneur Forum, and I'm thinking about starting a business. What am I missing? Here's my plan of attack, but I feel like something's being left out. It can't be this easy, right? Whatever it is, throw your stuff out there and get some great feedback. But it's going to be specific. These are the guys that are really, really interested in these topics that are going to be participating in these areas. There's also going to be the ability for you guys to create goals. And this is going to be pushed pretty hard, actually, for you guys to create goals and to say, here's what I'm going to achieve over the next X amount of days or weeks. And then you're going to be able to get feedback from other men. I'm going to tell you guys, it is so powerful when you throw something out there and you tell people, even guys you don't really know, and you just say, hey, here's what I'm thinking about doing. Here's what I'm committed to doing, actually. And you get that accountability, and you know somebody's going to be checking in on you, saying, hey, you said you were going to do this. How'd that go? Right? That's huge, guys. We don't always need coaches. For the most part, we really need some gumption to dig in, to figure things out, some guidance, but we need accountability, big time. That's one of the huge things that's missing in today's society of men. And so if you can imagine putting your goals out there, right, and saying, here's what I want to accomplish over the next 4 weeks or 4 months, and then I chime in, or somebody else chimes in and says, hey, you know what? Those goals are too big. They're unmeasurable. They're too nebulous. You need to break them down, get them into smaller chunks. Tell me what you're going to finish this week, right? That kind of stuff. That's huge, guys. That's awesome. So that's a little bit about what a membership site is, kind of how it works. There'll be more details to come out. You guys will, if you're not picking up on how this kind of feels, the flavor of this thing, you will. I'll be posting more stuff as we build this thing out, and it's on track. Let's talk a little bit about the roadmap. What's it going to take to get there? So there are a few things that I need to get done in my own world before we can launch the Foundry, because, as you can imagine, running a membership site is going to take a good bit of effort. Not only effort on my part, but effort on the part of other people as well. So I've got to have, at some point, especially as we begin to grow, there are going to be other people involved in this thing, kind of community manager type of thing. And there's going to be a good bit of content that's coming out pretty regularly. So I've got to set myself up for success here. And one of the ways that I'm going to do that is by making sure that Rustic in Maine, so our current business, is running smoothly and doesn't need as much attention. And let me just talk to you guys about what has been working in that realm. So just a quick recap here. Rustic in Maine is a business that we began, my wife and I started probably about 2 years ago now. And a year ago, I quit my job. I was a full-time software developer. I quit my job to run Rustic in Maine full-time. We create these awesome wedding rings out of historic woods and these other unique materials. We use elk antler and bison horn and just weave these stories, and they're really cool. And the thing is just going super. It's really awesome. We've got our own building now, and so I feel legit. I actually have a room in which I can do podcasting and things of that nature. We've got a team, including my wife and I right now, of about 15 people, and some part-time people, but mostly full-time guys making rings. And it's just hopping. And of course, my goal as a business owner, in the sense that I really want this thing to kind of run smoothly without my constant involvement, is to get myself into a place where I could kind of fire myself from whatever the role is that I'm currently doing. And as an entrepreneur, you wear many roles. We wear many hats, rather. And we've actually brought in an operations manager just in the last probably month and a half, 2 months or so. And the guy's just killing it. He's just doing a fantastic job. And my wife and I have actually taken off for a week at a time now, and things, the thing doesn't fall apart. So this is really good. So Rustic in Maine is on track. It's making money. It's providing a stable income, and it seems to be doing pretty well without a whole lot of hand-holding. That's great. That's exactly where I want to be. We still got some more work to do. We haven't quite caught the football yet. It's kind of like, maybe at the fingertips, and we're just kind of bringing it in, but things are on track. The other thing that I've got to do is I've got to get really consistent with my current podcast releases. And podcasting, to be honest, has just always been a challenge. Finding time in the busyness of life to record an episode, whether it's just me speaking or I'm interviewing somebody else, getting that thing produced, it takes hours to get it edited, out the door, and released. And so it's a big challenge. And so I've got to find a team that really can do that kind of stuff, that can handle a lot of the production side of those things for me. And I've got to get it really, really consistent. Because I'll tell you what, guys, I don't have any business in my mind starting a membership site if I can't produce quality content at this level right now on a consistent basis. Now, assuming those things are going to work out, and I believe they will, around November, I will start asking guys for interest to join kind of our beta group for our launch in January. Now, these will be, you'll get, a discount of some kind, I imagine, when you join, because you're part of the beta group, and there won't be a whole lot of other guys in there yet. But you'll also be on the ground floor, and you guys will be able to give feedback on what works, what doesn't work, how things could be arranged differently, what you'd like to see. So stay tuned, guys. I know some of you are really itching for this kind of thing. You've asked me before, Mike, how can I get deeper in? How can I dive in more? I love what Wolf and Iron is doing. What's the next level? What's the next step? This is it. That's coming. So here's what you need to do right now. If you have any interest at all in this thing, I want you guys to be really on the ground floor and get all the information that you can as we move forward. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to foundry.wolfandiron.com. That's foundry.wolfandiron.com. And that's the landing page right now for where the Foundry will live. And there's a sign-up sheet. Sign up on that thing. Let me know that you're interested. And as we progress, you guys will get, emails and stuff like that about kind of how we're moving forward and what's happening in the Foundry's world. Not only that, but you will also get a once in a lifetime discount when we actually launch in January. There will probably be about a week or 2 week period where we're launching, and only the people that have been following this and have been part of that email group are going to be privy to getting this discount. it will never be as low as what it will be then. Now, some of you guys are thinking, okay, what's the price going to be, Mike, for the Foundry once it finally launches? I'm actually thinking about, now don't hold me to this yet. We're still pretty early in this. And, I know a lot of membership sites, they kind of go through a thing where they put a price out there, see how it does. And then they kind of go back a little bit and they raise the price and they lower the price and they kind of bounce all around. I don't want to do that, but there may be some of that. But here's kind of what I'm thinking. My gut is telling me $27 a month. The launch discount is going to be drastically reduced in comparison to that. And when you guys see what we're doing, when I can actually show you the site and show you the behind the scenes and the conversations that are going on, and you begin to see and hear some of the testimonies that are coming out of that about guys that are changed, not just from the guys, but from their wives as well. I'm anticipating this thing is going to be awesome. You're going to think $27 a month? Heck yeah, I'm in. I get to associate with men that are the highest of caliber of men that I can find. Yeah, I want to be a part of that. So men, we're moving forward, and I'm excited about what the future holds. I'm excited about connecting with you guys in ways that we've never been able to do before. And I'll end on this. Actually, I'm excited about something else that's happened. Just as I'm recording this, I'm just really thankful. We've launched a few t-shirts out in the Wolf and Iron store, and they've been selling like mad. You guys are doing awesome. You're really supporting the mission here at Wolf and Iron and being a part of the pre-order sale for the t-shirts and these new designs. I didn't mention this in my little roadmap talk, but actually getting the Wolf and Iron store off the ground, not absolutely critical, but it is something that I want to do. I want to have an outlet for that kind of creativity and give you guys the opportunity to grab a hold of something tangible that says, yes, I'm on mission with what Mike's doing with Wolf and Iron and with these other men. And so hopefully you can kind of feel how that begins to kind of move things in the right direction. But I just wanted to say thank you to you guys. You've gone out there, you've bought a t-shirt. Next, several of you guys have bought several t-shirts, which is awesome. And the Guy's Guide to Pocket Knife book. Man, so I appreciate you, man. And I'm excited about what the future holds. Until next time, keep your powder dry. And may a fair wind be always in your sails.